Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? This right here is the Logic Vault art. We've got a little something here today. So Border Patrol and ICE agents are making their way to Charlotte, Charlotte, NC. So it looks to me that, they're all pretty well equipped. We're going to kind of see what's going on. But I heard that there were some crazy things going on. So let's take a look.
Border Patrol agents coming to Charlotte. It caused confusion and some apprehension among city leaders. North Carolina is more than 1,000 miles away from the U.S.-Mexico border, so why would Border Patrol agents come to our city? Thanks for sticking with us here for On Your Side Tonight. I'm Jamie Bowl.
And I'm Kim Anderson. Multiple reports show Customs and Border Patrol is now eyeing Charlotte as a city for an immigration enforcement crackdown. Agents have already been in Chicago, where tensions have been high. There have been multiple clashes between Border Patrol agents and protesters. Federal officers have used tear gas to disperse crowds, even in cases where witnesses say the protests were not violent. There are reports of people being shot in the head with pepper balls and other injuries. The top Border Patrol official behind those operations, Gregory Bovino, has faced legal scrutiny over his tactics. A federal judge said Bovino admitted to lying about his use of force. Charlotte has drawn national attention in recent months, but not over immigration. It started with a deadly light rail attack in South End back in August, when Ukrainian refugee Irina Zarutska was stabbed to death while riding the train. And it wasn't the last violent case to raise questions about who was being allowed.
I saw that video, okay? I was at work when I saw that. I was working on a car, okay? And I saw that video and I felt absolutely horrible for her. I mean, and not just her, though. I felt horrible for her family members. You know what I mean? And, some POS is just on the train stabbing people, or on a bus stabbing people. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter where you're at, what you're on, what you're riding. People should be able to feel safe. You know what I think? I mean, this is just me. Put all these violent turds, put them all together, put them on an island somewhere, give them to a country, make the whole country a prison. You know what I mean? Might as well. It's ridiculous. I don't know. We're not doing enough. And I think that's the problem that we have here, is that we're not doing enough for these people.
Back on the
when
streets.
They need to be arrested. They need to be sent
Adam
out.
Mercado with killing three people across
ridiculous.
Mecklenburg and Union counties.
See?
Both suspects in those cases had long criminal histories, raising new questions about accountability
Look
in
at
the
this
justice
goofball.
system.
But when it comes to immigration, the data paints a different picture. In 2023, the 6 states with the largest undocumented population, see the map here behind me. We're talking about California, Texas, Florida, Illinois, and New York and New Jersey as well. Now, 32 states,
New York
including
and New
North
Jersey
Carolina, saw
are bad for that
increases
crap.
from
Really
2021
bad
to
for that crap.
2023.
I actually,
Pew Research.
I met a few people actually from New Jersey, and even they were annoyed with that. They were annoyed with the illegals, and they were annoyed with the, standalone crime that's just continually going and not stopping. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's got to be a little bit of a give and take. And when there's too much take and not enough give, then it creates problems. That's why we have people who are criminals. That's why we have people who are police officers. So believe it or not, those criminals, they're in a sense doing what they do, and there's police officers doing what they do. That's how the system is designed. But the problem is, when you have people that are dying constantly, and people that are getting kidnapped, and people that are getting essayed and things like that. And I mean, like, real, like real problems, these things, it makes people not want to go outside. It makes people not want to actually be a part of the community. People want to be a part of a community. People want to be together. They want to, say hello to their neighbors, say hi to people. Some people just want to stay inside. Some people don't want to talk to anybody at all. Like, that's all fine and dandy, but when you get people from other countries that come into your own personal country, and start attacking citizens, even if they are a citizen and they're just attacking citizens and they're from that place, it's not good. It doesn't look good. It doesn't feel good. It's not good. It leaves a sour taste in everyone's mouth. And these people need to be dealt with. They need to be apprehended. They need to be taken care of. It's ridiculous.
Estimates North Carolina's undocumented population grew by about 75,000 compared to roughly 700,000 in Florida.
Jesus.
I can tell you that it's related to identity theft. So potentially they could use stolen or incorrect identities to employ people who aren't allowed to be employed.
We've already seen examples of stepped-up immigration enforcement around the WBTV viewing area. Agents, remember, raided a Kings Mountain business earlier this year, arresting several people accused of using stolen identities to live and work in the U.S.
And right here in Charlotte, immigration officers have been spotted making arrests outside the Mecklenburg County Courthouse. WBTV investigative reporter Naomi Coles documented what she saw.
Let's take a look
I watched on a hot Wednesday morning in June as agents led one person, then a group, and then two more from the courthouse into the van. The people you're seeing in handcuffs are coming from what's called a master hearing. Essentially, they've been issued papers saying they're in the country illegally and must come to court as part of removal proceedings, where the law gives them the right to make their case for why they should stay. But Attorney Lopez said when some of those people show up, the government is dropping the case instead.
Outside the courtroom.
If someone could figure that out for me, if you've made it this far, can someone tell me if that's true? Because if I'm not mistaken, if you come into the country illegally, that makes you a criminal by default because you broke the law already. And then they get to plead their case on why they should stay, even though they've already broken the law. Okay, I mean, okay, hold on. Granted, if they're working and they're doing good things, and not stealing or hurting or robbing anyone, and they're just trying to be a genuinely good person, then yeah, sure. Can't really be mad at somebody for that. I would do the same thing. You know what I mean? If you're looking for a better life, you're looking for a better life. I can't hate you on that, okay? Because I look for a better life every single day. So, okay, there's differences on this, but yeah, if somebody could give me that would be great information.
ICE is waiting to detain them and essentially putting them in a more vulnerable legal situation called expedited removal proceedings.
Do you view this as violating due process?
She looks
yes, every
like
individual has been placed in
care.
removal proceedings and they're trying to follow the law.
The van isn't marked, and from this distance, neither are the agents.
She's like super slouched in that chair.
Now, the reason for Border Patrol agents to come here, well, it's unclear, and DHS would not confirm anything with WBTV. This past summer, President Trump ordered ICE to step up deportation efforts in large Democrat-run cities.
Now, as of tonight, CMPD and the Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office say they've had no contact with federal immigration officials about any new operations here in Charlotte. Both stress they don't take part in ICE actions unless there's a criminal warrant or public safety concern. Now, this afternoon, Mayor Vi Lyles also urged calm, saying there's no verified evidence of federal enforcement activity. And she added everyone deserves to feel safe and protected under the law.
So here's the thing. When you have an upscale of like 75,000 people in a small area, that causes for concern. Now, Florida's a little bit bigger of a place, like they said. And would you have a 700,000 uptick in people? You're not hiding from anyone. You can't. It's almost unheard of. I think that there is more to this than what we're seeing, but it's also the fact of that they are here illegally, and the benefits that could be going to the rest of us are not going to some of us that actually need it. And that's the problem, like I said. People can't become part of a community or say hi to their neighbor or hello or even feel safe outside because there's these criminals walking around. Now, mind you, not all of them are criminals. I will stand by that notion. Not everybody's a criminal, okay? You just got to get used to that fact. It sucks, but guess what? Not everybody's a criminal. We can't just bunch them all together. Sure. People say, one bad apple ruins the bunch. That is not the case. You take that bad apple out and you toss it to the side. Guess what? You still got a fucking basket of good apples. Make yourself some apple pie. Now you got something sweet. Okay? You've got to work with what you have. Whether that's your hands or the dirt that you sow, you know, it's what you have and what you work with that you can make a better life with. But the thing is when you cheat your way in, it makes it very, very difficult for us to kind of trust you, you know, since you're already breaking the law to get in. But like I said, I can't hate anybody for trying to get in, you know what I mean? And do I find it repulsive and irritating? Absolutely. Why? Because they're taking a lot from the rest of us. Anyways, thank you all for tuning in. I am the Logic Vault. All right. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this. Okay. Please give this a subscribe. Share if you need to. But again, this is the Logic Vault. We do it the logic way or with no logic at all. I'll see you guys in the next one.